This is Annie Kid Wolf, and you're watching This is Punk Rock of Punk Globe Magazine.
1, 2, 3, 4. Punk rock, punk rock, punk rock. 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 It ain't brain surgery. Punk rock, punk rock, punk rock. 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 It ain't brain surgery. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cherubims of angels flashing from the sky, bringing forth a warning, don't let your feet die. Hear those trumpets blasting down, the walls are getting cold. Stand up and be counted, let your masters know. We won't let them take away what was up until today. Listen to the battle cry of angels, cry of angels, cry of angels. You better listen. Reborn proclamation of woman, child, and man. Let your conscience guide you. Speak out once again. Raise his head up, crash into rising from the ruin. Take a look around you. Look at what they're doing. Don't you let them take you now. It's easy down to bow. Listen to the battle cry of angels, cry of angels, cry of angels. You better listen. Right to keep mission on the left and the right will lead you on like sheep. Take control, fix you in, step on you like stone. Tell you that it's for your good, protect you in your home. Voice the beat of time to sleep, wake up from your borrowed sleep. Listen to the battle cry of angels, cry of angels, cry of angels. You better listen.
Guten Abend, liebe Zuschauer. Hallo, liebe Gäste hier im Studio und herzlich willkommen zu Rock Pop 179. Das war Wayne County and the Electric Chairs mit Cry of Angel. Wir werden sie gleich noch einmal hören, später in der Sendung. Jetzt darf ich erstmal rübergehen zu unseren nächsten Gästen. Das Vorbild ist Bob Marley, also spielen sie Reggae. Einmal Wayne County and the Electric Chairs bei uns in Rock Pop. Wayne County kommt aus USA, aus Georgia, ging nach New York, hat dort mit verschiedenen Bands gespielt und verließ dann das Land 1977 und gründete in London mit zwei alten Bandmitgliedern die New Wave Gruppe The Electric Chairs. What about New Wave for yourself? Is it only music or a special way of living?
Both. Mostly an attitude. Everyone's told me I've had an attitude.
Yeah.
So I guess it's true, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wayne County sagt mir, es ist beides, nämlich sowohl Musik als auch eine spezielle Art zu leben. Das ist die Ausstrahlung, die aus der Musik heraus lebt. Sie hat sich verändern lassen und war früher ein Junge, jetzt ist sie ein Mädchen. You call yourself transsexual.
Oh, I call myself that. Yes, lots of people call me other things. But, but I used to be a man, but I'm a woman now. So.
Okay. Also sie sagt, andere Leute nennen sie anders, aber jetzt muss ich mich konzentrieren. Aber sie war mal ein Mann und fühlt sich als Frau wohl, deswegen hat sie sich ändern lassen. Thank you very much for coming. Now the second song is called I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night. Here we go. Thank you very much. Bye.
Shadows fell upon my lonely room. I touched your golden hair, tasted your perfume. Your eyes were filled with love the way they used to be. Your gentle hand reached out to comfort me. Came the dawn. You were gone, gone, gone. I had too much to dream last night, too much to dream. I am not ready to face the light. I had too much to dream last night. Oh, 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 last night. My room was empty as I staggered from my bed. I could not erase the image placed into my head. You were so real, I could feel your eagerness. Then when you raised your lips for me to kiss, came the dawn. Then you were gone. You were gone, gone, gone. I had too much to dream last night. Too much to dream. I am not ready to face the light. I had too much to dream last night. No. Last night, no, I had too much to dream last night. I had too much to dream. I am not ready to face the light. I had too much to dream last night. Oh, 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 last night. Oh, oh, yeah. I had too much to dream last night. 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 Dream, dream, dream last night. Dream last night. Dream last night. Dream
Well, hello. This is a very exciting episode for me because we have the famous and incredible, inspirational woman, punk rock queen that there is, Jane County here. Thank you so much for being
I
here
love
with us.
that introduction. Thank you.
It's wonderful. I have to tell you that my very first punk rock band, we didn't have any material, and my bass player pulled out two Jane County songs and here said, "Learn these." And I was 18 and
Uh,
I got, I got my big introduction to Jane County. It was amazing. So thank
Oh,
you.
that's great. You're welcome. Yeah, I like hearing that. I
Yeah.
love being, I love influencing people in bad ways.
That's wonderful. Yes, yes. The influencer of many for sure. For a long time. You are definitely one of the pioneers of punk rock and
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very powerful for a lot of women around the world. And, female lead singers, it's an incredible thing when you got that power behind you and we all appreciate it for sure. So thank you
I,
again.
I, I was there at the very beginning,
Hmm.
even pre, even before a little before the beginning. Really, I was there. I've been around a while. I've been around a long time.
Yeah, I know you've definitely you definitely were there before punk. So that's one of the
Yeah.
things called this is punk rock, this show is, and we're gonna get your take on watching punk rock start because
Mm.
being such a powerful individual, you found, your stage presence is just incredible, right? So it's like you found something and in yourself and brought it to the world. And I want to know about that and how you did that and how, watching punk rock happen and, being a part of it. Like you didn't just watch it, you were a part of that change. So can you take us back there and
Oh,
tell me a bit about those influences and how you were feeling and how you brought that to light?
hello, you're frozen.
Oh, am I frozen?
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, sometimes these meetings are hard with the freezing. There you are.
Yeah, it went out. I don't know why.
Oh, it's the internet. Don't worry.
Okay.
Long distance.
Um, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, I can now. So give me a quick rundown or a long rundown, whatever you want, of the beginnings of punk rock and you as a stage person and your presence and how it helped influence punk rock.
Oh, I don't know. I was just there doing what I was doing, and I guess people looked at it and kind of took what they needed to use for their own uh, benefit. I was there just doing what I was doing. My message was basically just, be yourself no matter what you are. And being trans at that time was very unique because I went through certain phases where uh, I thought I was different, a different category. It took a while to find out that I was trans in the way that I am now. When I first started out, people considered me, a transvestite. It was like transvestite rock or a drag rock or whatever. Uh, and the realization that I was trans came a little bit slowly. Um, and I realized that years later, but while at the beginning of punk, I really didn't think about it. I dressed the way I felt and got on stage and sang the songs that I wrote and did it uh, and just I put myself out there and what people took from it was whatever they wanted to take really.
And how are you
I
influenced?
tried to be unique and different. I tried to be unique and different and give people something a little different than what was going on then, which was very, very boring music. Very overproduced, boring music was going on, and it was just it was just, dreadful. We needed to get rock and roll or punk rock, whatever you want to call it. We needed to get it back to its roots, to its rebellious roots, because
Yeah, that's
rock and roll is at best when it's rebellious and when it's in your face, kind of fuck you in your face type of music.
and
That's when
yeah.
it's the best, and has to stand up to the powers that be because they're always there trying to put us down and fuck us up, and we have to kind of stand up to that.
And I think
Hmm.
that's perfect. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I was thinking too, is that you did that. You helped take that old rebellious punk rock or rock and roll way into a whole new era. And I think with the
Oh,
way that your
oh,
message,
hmm.
I
That's
think,
right.
and
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, that was what I was doing. Uh, it was up to people to take how they felt about it, up the influence and all. I just did what I felt I had to do.
were you influenced by anyone at that point too? What were your influences?
Yeah, I was influenced by a lot of things that went around me, but I was mostly influenced by older music like garage rock music, psychedelic rock nuggets type of stuff, and also add that to like sort of R&B music. I liked R&B music. I liked early rock and roll music. A lot of my music had the same changes in it and everything that early rock and roll had.
Mhm.
Not that different from some of the songs from Little Richard and all the stops and the changes he had in his music. And I just electrified it a little more and made it a little stronger and faster.
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of it's kind of R&B influence, really kind of old-fashioned rock and roll plays, kind of like more louder.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I just did what. And when it came to writing songs, the songs just come out of my head, they come out of nowhere. I don't know where they come from. They just sort of find me. They're in my head, and they appear in my head, and then it's up to me to translate them to a guitar player so that they can translate my music, my songs, and my ideas into a more physical form so that people can listen to it and listen to what I was listening to in my head.
Right. Did you have the melodies already in your mind? Like,
Mhm.
did you sing the melodies to basically
Oh,
to a guitar player and you just sat down and you said, okay, it's like this, bad, bad, bad in bed. Like,
exactly.
did you do that?
That's exactly how I did it. Yeah. The melody, the tunes were in my head. It's like something went da 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 da. I just wrote a song then. That just came nowhere. It's there naturally.
Yeah, you're just open
Hmm.
to the creative universe, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a co-creative universe. I'm in tune to it. I'm open to it. I have a channel, a
Hmm.
special channel there that
Definitely
reaches me.
do. You've written some
Yeah.
incredible songs and
Oh,
they're catchy and they're in your face and you back it up with power and I love it and I think that there's a lot of people out there that love hearing your process. And
oh,
I do know other people that do the exact same thing. I was telling someone
yeah.
recently about Jello Biafra. That's how he writes songs too, right?
Uh,
So it's kind of neat, right? It's
yeah.
when you're
It,
channeling.
it's yeah. There's some kind of big creative thing there that has different channels, and people have their own channels to it. It sort of finds them, it gets into their heads. The heads kind of have some kind of, the brains have some kind of electronic commission, a transition from them to the person, and then it's up to them to translate it into physical form so other people can enjoy it and listen to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on it for there. So
Mhm.
when you were younger and you started out and then you spent a lot of time in New York and you went to
Uh,
England and what was the inspiration for going from New York to England? Like because you were that was
oh,
in the beginning. So what inspired you to go there?
well, I was being managed by Peter Crowley and Stuart, and then the person who I forget his name, who managed the Cramps and the Police. What's his name? Miles Copeland. Yeah, Miles Copeland told Peter said you should bring Wayne. At that time, I was Wayne County to England. They would appreciate him more because the punk scene in England is more uh, uh, visual, and said they would appreciate me there, me being visual is visual as well. And so we took a chance and we went to England, and I was a big hit. I played the Roxy, the first 100 days at the Roxy, the first and only pub club in London at that time, which was originally a gay club called what's it called? I can't remember, Panorama or something like that. And they it went from being a gay club to a punk club really, and people took it over, and it was the first punk club place in England, and I
Wow.
played there. They were, lines around the block. I mean, I didn't even have to build up a following. I mean, it's funny because Johnny Thunder told me, he said, we came in, we had, as the Heartbreakers, we had to kind of build up a following before we could get a crowd like this. He said, you come into town and overnight you play and there are lines around the block. And he said, we had to work for months and months to get people, to get that many people, and I just stepped into town and I already had a reputation from the David Bowie Association and my plays and things that I was doing. So people kind of knew about me already. So when I came, they were kind of ready for me.
Yeah.
They'd be like, this person is finally here, and
Mhm.
so they all came out to see me, and it was great. It was a great night. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I remember X-Ray Specs. I remember Polly being really jealous. We were backstage, and she was so jealous of the crowd that had turned out. And I think some of the bands were a little bit jealous because they thought that I had it really easy, but they didn't realize that I had to work very hard in New York first before getting myself to that place.
yeah, definitely. And you like we were saying earlier, like you channel something, like you definitely had a really unique approach and people were just
Mm.
blown away. Like any sort of live performance that I see of you or any videos or anything is just you are captivating, right? And I think that
Oh,
you definitely had something very unique and people grabbed onto it and the songwriting just top notch. Like I love your songwriting and the lyrics and the melodies and like you said, really in your face rock and roll. And then this powerful, individual in the front, being a force. I think that
I was wearing like I was wearing garbage on stage and stuff like that. And it was a lot of visuals and a lot of it was kind of fun. It was fun and funny as well. And the English audiences, they really got the humor and the parodies, and they got everything really. They just got everything. It was really great performing for an English audience at the beginning because I felt, they gave me so much confidence. They reacted so incredible to my performances that it instigated me to go further and to do more and to be more what I was. And
wow.
English were just great. They were great for me. They really were.
So, w when you were right there, because I know that that was you, you did a lot of stuff in New York, and then when you did go to England, it was kind of
Mhm.
like this big explosion. And like you were saying,
It
and
was.
yeah, and people
Yeah,
really,
I'd been on the cover already, the cover of Melody. I had already been on the cover of Melody Maker, and everything way before I got there. They put me on the cover when I first before I got there when I went there to see to be with David Bowie at the Marquee Club. I was there in the audience and everything, and Mayman took me there. And I was there in the audience at the Bowie at the Marquee. So I already had been there, and the Melody Maker uh, uh, put me on the cover of their magazine. So people were really, by the time I got there, they were really well aware of me. It reminds me a little bit of the first time I played LA, because people had heard about me in LA for years and years and years. And then when I got there, I had a ready-made audience because people knew who I was even before I got there. So that was great. Hmm.
And so what year was that when you went to LA?
Ooh, I'm really bad at the years and things.
That's okay, me
I'm not
too,
sure.
actually.
78, 79. I don't know. I went back and forth from London to America so many times. I can't remember
Right.
which shows were what year. I don't know. It was early days though.
Mhm.
Pretty early days. I played. I can't even remember where I played. What club I played. I can't remember if it was the Roxy or the something. There was another club. What was the other club in LA where people played?
Oh,
Um,
all kinds.
I can't remember.
Whiskey. The whiskey.
Anyway, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember. It was really great. I'm gonna have
yeah.
to pick up with something. I'm getting dry. Hold
Okay,
on.
so what are some of your experiences where you maybe would say like, okay, this feels the best for me. Like whether it
Mm.
be like when you were talking about, you know, being who you are and being that trailblazer and being, you know, a
Right.
trans woman and, you know, you're not even knowing the t actual proper terms or any of that kind of stuff because you're creating that as you went, really, as a performer. And
That's right.
you
Mm.
when you finally felt like at one point and you kind of arrived or like wherever you were,
Right.
could you tell me an experience that you had that kind of, and even around the word punk, like what made you feel like this is me and this feels right? Even an experience in your life. I know it sounds like an odd question, but you know, you have some incredible experiences.
Mm.
And you know, I want you to
Yeah.
share with us like a moment because there's a lot of people that go out there and they're trying new stuff and they're just like, should I try to be me? Should I try to hide me? Should I, you know, there's a lot of that stuff. So you didn't do any of that. You pushed through and it took a lot. It took a lot of guts to do that. So when you have those moments, those aha moments, could you, you know, give us a little insight on that?
Um, I, what was the original question? I forgot.
The
What's the
original
original
question was like
question?
a moment that you experienced that you can feel like, okay, this is an I've either
Uh,
arrived or I feel whole or I feel me or something that kind of is a real memorable experience for you that changed your life. That's a better question, I guess.
uh, I'm not sure. I probably, well, I would say probably arriving in England because I'm an Anglophile and I was for years and years and years. I was a early Rolling Stones and Beatles and the Searchers and all the Wayne Fontana and the Mind Men. I mean, I was a big British Invasion fan, and I had a real um, a connection mentally to Liverpool, England. When I was a little kid, I wanted to run away from home, and run away and live in Liverpool. uh, and running was a big deal for me. It was, you know, to go to England. It was big, and that's when I realized, I think in my mind, that I'd made it. Now I had been to England before to do Andy Warhol's Pork at the Roundhouse. I starred in Andy Warhol's Pork in 70 something, 71, 72, something like that. So when I went there musically, and I was doing my music, I had been to England before, and as I said, I had also been there to with David Bowie's at the Marquee. So going to England was a big deal for me. It was. It was like, okay, I've arrived. I'm something. I'm somebody. I've come all the way from the little town of 11,000 people, Dallas, Georgia. I come from being a teenage British invasion fan who had a love for Liverpool, England. I always wanted to go to England, and now here I am. I did it. I made it. I made it. Part of my dream has come true. That was part of my dream was to go to England
That's awesome.
and and going there and performing there and getting an audience there and everything and contributing there was like a big deal for me. I really, really just I took my breath away. I loved it. I really thought I had arrived because part of my dream had been fulfilled.
That's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you do a lot of stuff, as we know. One of the things that
Oh,
I found that was really cool is that your love of cats, and you have the cat house. Can you tell me a bit about how that started?
yeah, I don't have the cat house anymore, but I had it for years, taking care of homeless cats. Um, and I was taking care of them uh, and I had a few of them at one time, and I've had them for many years, and a lot of them have passed away. It's broken my heart. It's heartbroken when you get close to a pet, a dog or a cat, particularly with me cats, and they pass away. It's like one of your children have gone, and it has broken my heart, and that made me realize that after the rest of my kitties. I have four more kitties. I had up into the 20s, I was taking care of homeless cats in my cat house, but now I have four cats that are mine, all mine. And a lot of the others died because they were older. They were like, I had them like 15, 16, 17 years. And
Wow.
that's a long time for an animal to be in your life and then all of a sudden to die.
Yeah.
It, after these kitties I have now pass away, at my age now, I don't think I'm going to get any more cats because it's just too much. It's too much for me to bear. I can't stand the heartbreak of it. I just can't stand it. I still cry to this day over my
Aw.
kitty thing. I
But
just
you did
break,
that for them, right?
I'll just break down into cry. It's
Yeah.
and now it's just too much for me to bear. I can't bear it.
Well,
Having them
at
pass.
least you helped all the ones that you did. I think that's really great. That's what I wanted to touch on. I just wanted to say that you have a real heart, and that is the fact that you did that was really cool. And a lot of us, punk rockers were like that.
Butterball. Hey, Butterball. It's just Butterball. She's my youngest kitty,
Aw. Hi,
Butterball.
baby.
And she's a beautiful little gray striped cat. And Bam Bam, my black and white cat, just died of a mouth cancer, and
Aw.
it's heartbreaking. And
Mhm.
so I'm still not quite over that yet. But
Yeah.
Bam Butterball here is a real comfort to me. She sleeps in my lap and everything, and she follows me around the house, and she gives me support. Yes, she does. There she is.
Aw,
There she
that's
is.
awesome.
Oh, look at her. She's my baby. She's my little baby. Look at her. She's so cute.
So
She's
great.
so cute. And yeah, and that was a big part of my life with the cats.
Hmm.
And I've always been a cat person. When I was a kid, a teenager, I had loads and loads of cats. And I named them after all my favorite rock stars of the day before 1964, like in the early 60s. So I was a teenager. I named them like Paul and Paula, Dion, uh, 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 after Chubby Checker. I had one named Chubby Checker. I had one called Dee Dee after Dee Dee Sharp because I was a big Dee Dee Sharp fan. I named all my cats were named after rock and roll people,
That's awesome.
and then um, recently one litter I had for 15 years was John George, Paul, and Ringo, and they've all passed now.
Oh,
And so the I have the four now I'm taking care of,
That's great.
And yeah, I just have an affinity toward cats, and I have an affinity toward cats. Also, um, I have an affinity toward ancient Egypt as well. I love Egypt. I have my whole house is decorated in Egyptian with Egyptian statues and things. I don't know if you can see any. Um,
Oh,
they're
wow.
all it's
That's
just all
awesome.
the walls are full of. There's Tutankhamun, and there's that's the a table there with the snake on it and the
That's so
bulls and
cool.
everything, and it goes over here to a little throne place right here. If you can
That's
see that.
beautiful.
Um,
Yeah, I can see all of it. It's really gorgeous.
and, okay, and now here's this is uh Nefertiti is one of my favorite. Nefertiti. There
Oh,
she is.
wow.
And she's
Beautiful.
and by cats.
Yeah.
Nefertiti. And there's cats
Yeah.
there. As you can see, they're everywhere. Have
Yes,
cats.
you were obviously reincarnated from
Yes,
Egypt.
somebody said that. I'm a reincarnation.
Hmm.
Uh,
I agree.
of, of,
Agree.
of a cat. Oh, that's Egyptian mirror. Anyway, the whole house looks like a temple, cat temple, ancient Egyptian cat temple.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and I just also as the years have gone on, I came to New York City originally to be an artist, and then I got involved in the music. Um, when I was doing a play for Jackie Curtis, Andy Warhol superstar Jackie Curtis, and the Miamis were doing the music at the time. They went to Miami at the time, and we got together. The Marcus Brothers got together, and we formed the band Queen Elizabeth. And I got very upset when Queen came along and had took the name Queen. But anyway, my first band was called Queen Elizabeth, and but I came to New York to be an artist, and now uh, my art is getting a lot of recognition now. I have a current art show running at Emory University, which is a really prestigious place.
Mhm.
I've had art shows in New York at the Marlborough, which is a real distinguished place as well. So my art is getting a lot of recognition now,
Yeah, I was
as
going to
well.
touch on that. I was going to ask you a
Yeah,
question and ask you about your art and if you were showing
but
anything. So you
oh
perfectly.
yeah, yeah. I'm going, and I'm gonna have an art show coming up in October in Palm Springs, California, and also, but I'm continuing my music. I just finished working on an album with it's Jane. It's a duo. I have a duo called Jane County and A.M. Taylor. That's Jane County and Am Taylor. And
Okay.
Am Taylor it's a trans woman and she's a guitar player. And we got together and we formed a duo and we recorded an album. And the album is mixed and ready for release soon.
Awesome.
We're selling it first to this company who wants to try to get the songs in movies and TV commercials.
That's
We're gonna we're
fantastic.
gonna try that route first. But I have a whole album, but I have enough for like 2 or 3 albums now, backlog of material. And the first album is been mixed, totally mixed, and it's ready to go. So not
Oh,
only art coming is my art coming along, my music is still coming along. And this new album I did, this duo album with Am Taylor, is some of the best music I have done since my very early days. It's very,
wow,
very
great.
good music. I have a song called I Remember, which is about New York during its heyday, which is a great song. And so it's going to be out soon. And I think I feel very confident it's going to impress a lot of
Oh,
people.
that's
It's
exciting.
going to be like Jane County, Mhm.
Oh, well, we're going to look out for that for sure. So I just want to ask you, that's great that you touched on that. And I'm going to get everyone to go to your
It's called
website.
it's called Formerly Abnormal. Formerly Abnormal with Jane County and Am Taylor, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And will be out soon, and it will be on Spotify and iTunes. It'll be on all the streaming places. And as I said, we're trying to get it. We have a company who are going to work on getting it, the songs and on television commercials and movies and things like that. So I have high hopes for that. So
Yeah.
not
Will it
only is
be
the
on your
art along,
website?
the
Any of the
music still coming along. I'm still going along with my music, you know.
Good for you.
Hmm.
Of course. Well, you are
Yeah,
who you are. You're not gonna,
yeah.
not gonna stop. You're just, very
Uh,
prolific.
it doesn't drop at all. The tunes are still there. I mean, every day a new tune jumps into my head, and I'm calling up Taylor. I'm calling up Amber, and I'm going into the phone and humming a new song and a new tune. And she's gets her guitar out, and all of a sudden, we write a whole new song.
That's
And it's just my creativity is at a all time high right now.
Oh, wonderful.
Really
Well,
is.
I'm really looking forward to new
I'm like,
stuff.
and like, yeah, and I'm almost 80 years old. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but it's still the creative force is still there. I'm the same age as Debbie Harry, and I'll be 79 in July, and that's 1 year away from 80. So I think I'm going to have a big celebration, a big birthday party. I usually don't acknowledge my birthdays, but reaching 80 is a big thing, I think. So I think I will sort of have some kind of big party,
Oh,
party.
that's
Reach 80
awesome.
years old. That's amazing. 80. I can't believe I made it to 80.
I'll
I mean,
come to that party. I'll be at that
yeah,
party.
yeah.
Come to that gig,
I can't
whatever
believe
it is.
I've had no work. I've had no plastic surgery either. And for 80 years old, I think I look good. I think
You
I
look
look pretty good.
fantastic for 80. Oh my goodness,
Hmm.
that's
And
amazing.
no plastic surgery at all anywhere now.
Well, good for you. Well, it's
Mm.
wonderful to chat with you. And I want to ask
You,
one more question. What
oh,
does,
okay.
what does the word punk mean to you today? What does it mean to you today? The word punk.
Well, the word punk to me was a not only a form of music, but was a time and space. It was a time in history, and it's good. I think when bands try to repeat some of that energy that we developed during that time. I think punk is going on to become a category of music, but it was also to me a not only a form of music but a time and
Mm.
space. It was a special time, the Max's Kansas City, CBGB's, all those places that were big in New York City at that time. So that and then at the Roxy in London, and so punk also not only represents a kind of music. For me, it represents a time and space and in history. Punk has made history, and it's still making history, I think, because we still need that energy and that form of rebellion in music. We need that. We really do.
I
It's
agree.
something we need. Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for being
You're
on
welcome.
this. I really appreciate it. And,
Oh, of course.
we're looking forward to your new albums and your art. And I'm going to put your links
Okay.
up at the bottom so that we'll drive people
Okay.
there. And, yeah, your
Okay.
stuff is incredible. And thank you so much for being a part of this
Well,
series
well,
because
you're
you
welcome. It was
definitely
great.
one of those influential women of the scene. And all of us who came
Thank you
after
so much.
appreciate.
I appreciate that because it makes me feel good to be appreciated. It really does. It
Oh,
really
hey,
does. Thank you
you're
so
very
much. Thank you,
appreciated.
Paul. I don't thank everyone, and thank everyone for supporting me all these years. So I just want to thank everyone and give them all a big hug and kiss. We
Okay, well, we love you. We love you. The
love
world
you too.
loves you. And we're
Okay.
looking forward to your new material. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much again. And have a
Okay. Well, thank
wonderful day there.
you too. Have a wonderful time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye, Jane. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
your golden rule. I don't wanna go to church. Use religion as my crutch.